Oscar, how are you? How's been this Powerwolf tour?
I'm good, and it's been fantastic. It's been. I expected it to be like this because I knew the pre-sales of tickets before, but what I didn't know was that it was going to be this bigger places before, like before we
Yeah,
saw the schedule and everything. But it's been amazing. I
yeah,
think it's been really a lot of people almost sold out at every show, and many sold out shows too. So
yeah,
fucking amazing.
yeah.
So,
Does it surprise you?
not really. Well, in a way, because that is really hard to achieve.
Yeah,
But it also doesn't really surprise me. People seem very into this package, so
yeah,
it's very good.
yeah. And how do you see this Powerwolf growth, so to say? Because at least here in Germany, I mean, the rest of Europe, I know you guys played France, it was a big venue as well. But, they're freaking massive. Their stage production
Yeah,
is
it is
crazy.
very big.
How do you see this growth from Powerwolf? Does it surprise you as well?
It did a little bit because I don't really keep up with what's going on so much
Yeah,
anymore in the last 20 years almost. It's been so much, but the rise of Powerwolf took me a little bit by surprise because I didn't realize how big they were in Germany.
yeah.
Because I just never paid attention enough to know, I guess. But it's really cool. I mean, what they do is amazing. It's so if we can tell that when you look out in the audience when you play before them, there are people in makeup and nun
Yeah.
dresses and whatever, it's like cosplay basically, and that's when it's really connecting with the audience.
Yeah. It surprised me as well. And, but it's good at least to see heavy metal, to see some heavy metal bands, getting to arenas stage.
Absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
I wish more bands could achieve that.
Yeah,
Would be good for us because, now with Iron Maiden reaching 50 years of career,
yeah.
they're not
Never
gonna,
know how long they're going to be around,
yeah,
right?
we need other bands to
Yes,
take their place.
we
Anyway,
absolutely do.
and we make to Hammerfall, Avenged the Fallen. Um, Amazing records. You guys seemed very inspired. After so many years, I remember the first record when it came out.
Yeah.
I'm a fan since the first album. And to see you guys, after so many years, still releasing high quality music, it's for me, I'm proud of that. And to see,
Yeah,
but
that's good.
Avenged the Fallen seems to be you guys seem to be very inspired because even melodies wise, every song is really perfect.
That is the thing, because we didn't approach this any differently. I think we just felt quite inspired. I think in the studio when we started recording, that is a lot of the energy comes from there. We start with the drums as most people do, and David did a fantastic job on the drums, and that sort of when it was time for us to do the guitars and the bass on top of that, there was so much energy already there.
Yeah.
It was easy to feed off of that. And I think with the songs, like the songwriting before, we don't write anything in the studio, so we write everything before.
Yeah.
We don't rehearse, but we go in and record it. Very few changes from the demo things that we do to the actual recording.
Yeah.
So I think Joachim and I were in a very good place. Well, good place meaning that we haven't been in a bad place. We haven't really, but
Yeah.
it just clicked really well
Yeah.
this time. I think he had a different approach to the melodies. The thing is, when I write the music, I write some melodies, but most of them come from
Yeah.
him, and the lyrics, of course, come from him as well. But when I have a song, I have a feeling about this song. Like I feel this is going to be whatever I feel.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel this can't fail. This is a great song. But in order for that song to be a great song or to be what it can be,
Yeah.
he needs to perfect it.
Yeah.
Basically, and I think he really took that seriously. Now, this all sounds like he hasn't done before.
Yeah.
That's not at all what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I think it just happened. I think it may have been an inspirational thing, and we've been on the road for. Well, ever since the pandemic started, we've had non-stop touring, and we wrote a lot of the music on the road and in between shows and tours. So I think that helps a lot with the inspiration. I mean, it does for me. I know that, and I think for Joachim, he approached it in a way that he did this he came up with this for the last album too, where the Hammer of Dawn. What did he say? Great is not good enough or something like that. It was some phrase like, so whenever he's like, is this good enough? I don't, that's not good enough. You know, it has to be great. I have to feel it's gonna be great. And I think that also helped because he rewrote a lot of stuff along the way for himself. Like, I can do this better. You know, like I do also sometimes. You know, that's. But I think everything just clicked really well this time. We're on the same wavelengths, I guess. But it's also a matter of us having more and more with each album communication, more back and forth. You know, we have it always, but it's been last couple of albums we had it more than before. It's sort of growing, and I think that's great because that means we are on the same page. But also that if we sort of I mean, I can have an idea of a song and I'm not sure about it. I can send it over to him to see what he feels about it, and then, you know, get some constructive criticism or feedback or whatever. And he does the same thing with me with the melodies, and I think that helps to create the whole the concept, or the whole of the album. You know? I think that is maybe what you're referring to as inspirational, you know, because it's we're on the same wavelength.
And you know, because communication is key when you're in a band.
Sure.
You know?
It is.
Because I know a lot of bands and I don't know how they get along, how they get through, you know, rehearsals, let alone a tour sometimes. But hearing you saying that you guys are communicating more, or, you know, it's becoming, you know, more of a thing, I think it's very important to see that. And I think it shows on the record because...
And we're past 50 now. No, I'm 52, he's 54. The comes with a certain maturity comes with age. And I guess, I mean, we weren't like this 20 years ago, but that's great that we adapted.
You know, I'm close to 50, and one of the things I realized is I don't worry so much about little things.
Right.
You know, it's...
Yeah, don't sweat the little things is a really good saying.
Yeah. For me, it's, you know, getting to an end, I don't like bullshit. But I don't stress. I tend not to stress too much about things, and I like a relaxed environment because, you know, we don't know when this life comes to an end.
True.
And
very true.
We have to think about it in that sense. But you know, with you guys, this record, you know, I think you guys are really. You should tour a lot for this album.
Oh yeah,
you should tour a lot because these songs need to be played live. If you consider. You guys have such a career with such monumental records. Are you considering, you've done it in the past, but to celebrate those records on tour, you know, to play from start to finish certain records? Because I do think, like as I said, Hammer of Dawn and Avenged the Fallen, they are great records. And it would be a shame if some of those songs aren't played live.
That is, you hit the nail on the head there. Because this is our 13th album, and also if we are a special guest for Powerwolf, we don't have unlimited time. We have 65 minutes. That's it.
Yeah.
To condense 13 albums into 65 minutes, when you also have a new album to promote, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it, but nobody's going to be happy with everything. And that is one of what you mentioned is one of the most annoying things that I realized in the last 4 albums or whatever, 3-4 albums. But like there are so many songs or several songs, I should say, on each album that never got any attention.
Yeah.
And if they're not a single or a video or something like that, and they're not played live, they're only going to be remembered by the few who listens to the actual album, you know. Yeah. And that angers me to a certain point, because I put as much effort and love and passion into every song, and I have maybe one feeling about this song that a good example is actually oh fuck, I can't remember the name now. Oh shit, it's a song of Dominion. It starts with an E. Holy shit.
We'll try to go on.
Maybe I have to go online for this. That's not a good. Doesn't look good for my 52 years.
But listen, we for me it's it's the same. The, I have the words on the under my tongue, and
Right.
then I was like,
Yeah.
wow, what is it? What is it? And I forget. Anyway, let's go to the Dominion record. Yes.
It's like song number 4, maybe.
Uh, One Against the World.
No.
Testify.
Testify. That's the one. Testify.
Yeah.
So not an E. I kept thinking eternal something in my mind, but that was wrong. Well, anyway, Testify is a good example. It's another example on Hammer of Dawn as well. Oh, the fuck! Well, this is annoying. The last song of Hammer of Dawn is.
The last song of No Mercy.
Okay, so no, that's not the last song.
Of Emerald of Dawn.
Yeah, that's not the last song.
That's here. State of the Wild.
No.
I think Apple Music only has 10 songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, I thought. Well, I'm mixing it up. Reveries is what I'm talking about. So Testify on the Dominion Reveries on this album.
Okay.
2 songs that I felt really strongly about. Like they were good enough to be a single on a standalone on its own. But we didn't play them live. They didn't become any single or video, and nobody's gonna remember them now except the diehard fans.
Yeah.
And that is that when I think of it that way, it's frustrating as hell. It also makes me not wanna do any more songs in a way,
Yeah,
because
100%.
what's the point if they just get lost in
Yeah, but
the flood?
With the career the two guys have with 13 records, I think obviously everybody wants to hear Hearing the Call. Crimson. There's so many songs.
Yeah.
There's some classics that people want to listen, but I think you have a fan base that if you focus on the latest records and you put 3 or 4 of those classics for the encore, they'll be happy.
Right, yeah, I see what you mean. That's gonna be very difficult to do.
I know.
But yeah, that would be an idea. When you started asking this question, I thought you were gonna say that why don't you play Legacy of Kings from start to finish, for example. But we aren't there. We might get there eventually, but as long as we feel that we have something to contribute with every new release, and it's not just a release so we can go on tour, that we feel like this is among our top albums ever, that we feel that way. I don't think we're ever going to be like a nostalgia act. But once we feel like we don't have anything else, like it's not as exciting to write new songs anymore, and they don't turn out the way we want them. Maybe in the future, you never know. But this is a different question, obviously, what you're saying. A very interesting one, which I have thought of sometimes, but I don't think that Jorge would never go for this. I don't think.
You don't?
No, I don't think so. And on a tour like this, for example, it's not at all.
No, on a tour like this, but I mean on your own, if you do a headline tour, probably it's a risk.
Yeah, it is a risk. I think this could happen at 1 or 2 shows, very unique setting, special, whatever, and you go out with that as information beforehand. That could work. But it's also a lot of work to get that to work, so to speak. So I guess that's probably, I just answered your question.
No, because I was thinking, I see what Iron Maiden are doing. Obviously, Iron Maiden are at a different level.
Yes.
And I could see you guys doing something like that, even with the newest albums. I believe the Hammerfall fans, they would appreciate that.
I think that most people probably would. I want to think that at least I want to think that they feel the same about the albums. But if we're looking at on our own shows on the headline tour, there would also be a lot of people who aren't diehards, people who are maybe just curious. And if you play only songs from the new album, I don't know. There's a reason why, like Renegade, for example, became so popular. Because it's a really good, it's easy to get into. It's a good, catchy song. And that is why we played a lot of those as well. Like this Powerwolf tour now is more about showing a large audience who we are. Because we did a tour with Halloween all over the
Yeah.
world in the last 2 years, and those fans who came to the Halloween show were clearly more into Hammerfall than the Powerwolf fans are on this tour.
Yeah.
We get them in the end,
Yeah.
but you can tell from the beginning there's a lot of nodding heads and not so much smiling people,
Yeah.
just listening, watching. They're also fans, of course.
Yeah.
There's so many people here today. I don't know how many, it's like 10, 12,000. So it's a really, really big place today. Yesterday we had over 10,000 people too.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who like and know what we do. Especially yesterday was actually, we played Old House, and
Yeah.
I don't know how many times, 20 times or something. So it's maybe not the best example.
Yeah.
But what I like is when we go out on stage and you have this, I wouldn't say non-ecstatic, but it's not so. They were more watching and saying, "What is this? I'm gonna see what this band is." And then, oh, what is everybody reacting to? And then at the end of the show, when Hearts on Fire comes, everybody's singing and clapping hands and everything. So that's where we get them in the end. And that is the whole reason for us to do this tour. So that the people who didn't know about Hammerfall before will come back when we do our own tour. That is the basis for any support act or any special guest anywhere.
But for me, this tour would be about Hammerfall. I understand. I love Powerwolf, but for me, it's about Hammerfall. But that's why I'm surprised with, how big Powerwolf is.
I didn't realize this either. It's incredibly big.
It's
but they do put on a hell of a show.
No, I saw the stage and I was like,
It's ridiculous.
I interviewed Falk when the album came out, and he told me about screens, but he didn't say much. And I said, but are you guys ditching the backdrops? And he didn't want to say yes, because I'm an old school fan. I love backdrops instead of a fucking screen. But when I saw the videos, I mean,
I love what they've done with a little semicircle somehow. It looks really, really good.
And all the fire and everything. I'm like, Rammstein level. And, another topic on today's music is AI. Does it worry you for an artist point of view?
Yes, it does.
Because listening to the voice of James Hetfield singing ABBA or whatever, it's frightening.
Yeah, I know. It is really. What worries me is two things actually. The first one is with AI more general. What can you believe after a while? And when right now it's kind of easy to see the line, but it's getting blurrier and blurrier every day. And that is already a problem that is extremely big in today's society with news and shit. People just repost stuff without thinking, or there's no, they don't check what the source is. Just because it aligns in their little sphere of beliefs or whatever, they just push it out there, and nobody bothers to check if it's true or not. And AI makes that a million times harder to spot, really, if it's true or not. As far as an artist, it does worry me in the sense that, because I don't want to, if people say I'm going to use it as a tool, I think you lost the right to create songs, because then you're not coming up with anything. Even if somebody comes up with the idea, like an AI, you put whatever in and they get, oh, this was a kind of a cool thing, I'm going to steal that and say I wrote it. I think that's going to be very detrimental. And it also means that things are going to sound more, they already are streamlining, but it's going to be similar, more and more similar, because it's not infinite. So I'm actually very worried about that. I think as far as live shows go, you can do a lot of shit now as well. But we Hammerfall's always prided ourselves on being a rock and roll band, meaning that we play our instruments, we perform live, and it's the energy that is the important part of the music and of the concerts. If we always said, if you want to have a flawlessly played concert or song, listen to the CD, because then you get, and if the interaction between the audience and the band or the artist on stage, that is for me the whole
You can
the
re-
concept on a heavy metal show.
you can't replace that.
No, exactly. You can't, like Jorge, you love to say the live experience is the one thing you can't download.
Yeah.
You know? So,
When I see the habbiting in the UK and whatever Kiss are thinking of doing,
Yeah.
I don't care about that. You know, if I didn't see ABBA when they were ABBA, I'm not going to see them.
no, it's I see what you mean, and I agree with you with a band that I am not a super fan of, but a band that I don't care if it's a real thing or not. I can go see it. You know, then
Yeah.
it would make sense.
Yeah.
But for Kiss, absolutely no way. I've seen them a million times.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite bands of all time. Been since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in seeing a AI Kiss or whatever the thing they're
Yeah.
planning. You know, that doesn't have any allure to me at all.
Yeah. And you know, after this tour with Powerwolf, what are the plans for next year for Hammerfall?
We actually had a meeting about next year and well, the coming years really, because our management team is here.
Okay.
And we have plans, but nothing is
Is
decided.
it a-
But I can tell you what we do in January and starting of early February. Though that I know for sure, because we're going to be in Australia in January, and then we do the 70,000 tons of metal thing.
Cool.
And we have a million things planned or talked about, but nothing official. And nothing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, actually, we confirmed one festival in Norway. Right? So things are coming up, but nothing I can talk about, unfortunately, right now, because I don't know what's going to happen or not.
Yeah. And I know when we spoke in Portugal last time you guys played, we talked a bit about wrestling because you're a wrestling fan, MMA fan as well. How do you see this new era in WWE without Vince McMahon and now with Triple H at the helm? I mean, he was doing a great success in NXT. Now he's taking over the whole thing. How do you see the WWE now?
Well, I never thought they could replace Vince in a way, but I think that the way they have replaced him is the only possible way to do it and improve, which is what they have done as well, with somebody who is as dedicated as he is, family, of course, married to Vince's daughter, part of everything that makes WWE everything for him. He already was probably in before, but that is everything. You can't have any executives that just look at the bottom line.
Yeah.
He bleeds this thing, and I think that's the only person you can have to lead a company like that, and he's doing a fucking great job at it. So it's really cool. Yeah, we got 5 more minutes. Or you...
It's just to wrap it up. And you know, you use a lot Instagram, you know, to do fundraisings. One of the last I saw you were pissed off because Instagram keep cutting you off.
Yeah, well,
you were mad.
That was the first time. It happened so many times. That was just the third time that day. So I was really angry. Or the second time, but yeah.
But you like to use Instagram as, you know, as a tool to, you know, just to do those fundraisings.
Not anymore.
Not anymore?
No. Now the thing is, actually, they changed the rules now. I think
Okay.
Meta did, so you can't do any fundraiser. I haven't tried, but I heard they won't allow it anymore.
Okay.
But it doesn't. I'm looking at other alternatives to do this. I have a Twitch channel which I tried once to do a karaoke session on, but that was the first try, and I did it with my computer. And since I don't have like anything, I'm doing it live. Obviously, I can't go and check out. Let me just see how it sounds. You know? And I didn't take into account the fact that all the other things I've done on my phone, which has a very good buffer. Like say what you will about modern phones, but they record what you want them to record, and not everything else. It's very, very good in that respect. The computer didn't have that, so it was a pretty terrible audio on that whole recording. But that is probably what I'm going to do more of, you know, in the upcoming months.
You know what I use for the program, and when I do interviews, I have the Rode desk. You just connect USB to the computer. You connect, if you want to connect the guitar, the microphone, connect everything there. You can control. It's perfect. You know, it's a bit expensive, but It's the Rode one. I'm not.
No,
I
I
bought
have.
everything.
It's really good. This
Yeah.
brand actually. I have it one, and I've done many interviews with it. Everybody says the same thing.
Yeah, and that Rode, that desk, now they released the second version of it. It's really good.
Okay.
And
Cool.
you know, you just connect it to the computer and you can stream, use OBS if you want to record first,
Yeah.
and it's doesn't it's perfect
Yeah.
to get the perfect sound. You won't have to worry about levels because they have the monitor
Right,
there. You
yeah,
can see the
yeah,
levels if you're
Yes.
reaching the
Yeah,
red.
everything would have been red if,
Yeah.
if I had something like that.
All right, Oscar, thank you very much for your time. All the best for
problem at all.
Hammerfall.
Pleasure
I'll see
as
you in the
always.
pit. So, looking forward. It's been since Portugal.
I don't even remember when that was.
It was at the festival, Vagos Metal
Like
Fest.
15 or something?
It was 18 maybe.
Yeah, that could have been 18.
Yeah, it was warm as hell. It was a very warm day. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
It's been a while. Thank you very much.
No problem at all.
All right,
It was a
thank
pleasure.
you.